Next, we have to proving one of the important theorem. One of the important theorem. So this is for we have to get for one of the essay question. Are you hearing me? నేను మాట్లాడేది వినబడుతుందా? హలో హలో
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So he given if f is bounded on closed interval a comma b. This is our one of the essay question. So f is bounded on closed interval a comma b, and f is Riemann integral. F is integral on closed interval a comma b if and only if u of f comma p minus L of f comma p is less than epsilon. So he's saying f is bounded on closed interval a comma b and f is integrable on closed interval a comma b if and only if u of f comma p minus L of f comma p is less than epsilon. So here f is satisfying the two condition, that is the bounded condition and integral condition. Using of that we have to prove u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value is always less than epsilon. If and only if means we should consider the two condition. One is necessary condition and one is sufficient condition. So the necessary condition for f is bounded and integrable. F is bounded and integrable on closed interval a comma b. F is integrable and bounded on closed interval a comma b. Then we prove that మనల్ని ఏం ప్రూవ్ చేయమంటున్నాడు, u of upper Riemann sum minus lower Riemann sum is value should be less than epsilon. So f is bounded, f is integrable on closed interval a comma b are the given condition. Using of that condition, you want to prove that u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value should be less than epsilon అనేది మనం ప్రూవ్ చేయాలి. నెక్స్ట్ సఫిషియంట్ కండిషన్, if u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value should be less than epsilon. U of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon, then we prove that మనల్ని ఏమని ప్రూవ్ చేయమంటున్నాడు, f is integrable on closed interval a comma b. So these are our given condition for necessary condition and sufficient condition, because it containing if and only if condition. If and only if means you have to take necessary condition and sufficient condition. So f is bounded and integrable. F is integrable, then you have to prove that u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value should be less than epsilon, and reverse, u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value should be less than epsilon. Then we prove that f is integrable. Then we prove that f is integrable on closed interval a comma b. So one here I am taking the two condition because it containing if and only if condition. Now we have to proving first one, necessary condition. Proof of necessary condition. Necessary condition లో ఏమి ఇచ్చాడు, ఏం ప్రూవ్ చేయాలి మనం, what is given condition and what is proving condition.
F is bounded and integral on closed interval a comma b.
F is bounded and integral is on closed interval a comma b. So using of that condition you have to prove that
U of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon.
So I want to take, since our f is integrable, since I want to take f is integrable, since f is integrable, f is integrable or integral on closed interval a comma b, that is nothing but Integrable means f is Riemann integral. F is a Riemann integral on closed interval a comma b. What is the definition of Riemann integral? Integrable anna Riemann integrable anna both are same. Integration he taking here name. F is Riemann integral. What is the definition of Riemann integral?
L of f equal to U of f.
Lower Riemann integral should be equal to upper Riemann integral. By the definition, Riemann integral for definition, U of f value is equal to L of f. So this is our Riemann integral for definition. I want to go for equation number 1. కానీ ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఏం ప్రూవ్ చేయమంటున్నాడు?
U of s comma
U of
p
f comma p minus L of f comma p minus U of f comma p less than epsilon.
Less than epsilon అనేది ప్రూవ్ చేయాలి. సో దిస్ u of f comma p is a upper Riemann sum, but u of f is a Riemann integral. Both are different. U of f is giving integral, u of f comma giving partial sum. So f is Riemann integral is means the definition u of f equal to L of f. So I have one of the condition I want to consider. Why we have to consider, since f is a Riemann integral, f is integral or it is a Riemann integral, and we have to consider for epsilon greater than 0 for there existing a partition P, such that u of f comma p and u of f plus epsilon by 2. What I'm taking here, u of f comma p, u of f plus epsilon by 2. u of f comma p అనేది ఏమవుతుంది? What is mean by u of f comma p?
upper integral
u of f comma p is a upper Riemann sum.
upper
But
Riemann
u of f is a
upper Riemann sum.
Riemann integral.
So this is integral and it is Riemann sum. So when I'm adding plus epsilon by 2 means this is always greater than or less than or equal to. So u of f comma p is less than or equal to u of f plus epsilon by 2. So consider equation number 2. So now I want to go for same by the definition. L of f comma p, lower Riemann sum, and L of f is a lower Riemann integral minus epsilon by 2. By this 2 comparison, here minus epsilon by 2 is subtracting of some term. So L of f comma p and subtracting term means always it is less than value. So L of f comma p is greater than or equal to L of f minus epsilon by 2. So that is my equation number 3. So what happened here? U of f comma p less than or equal to u of plus epsilon by 2. Adding of some of the arbitrary constant. So upper Riemann sum for upper Riemann integral is greatest. Here L of f comma p and L of f minus epsilon by 2. We are subtracting the term. So by the comparison of this, our lower Riemann sum is always greater than or equal to L of f minus epsilon by 2. Adding arbitrary constant, subtracting of our arbitrary constant. So that's why when I want to add for Riemann integral for some addition value, that Riemann sum for it is greatest. So subtracting of here, so L of f comma p is greatest. Again I want to making equation number 3 by multiplying of minus. So L of f comma p, multiply both side with minus. This is greater than or equal become a less than or equal to minus L of f plus epsilon by 2. Now I want to take, this is equation number 3. Are you understanding what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
So u of f comma p we should consider for epsilon. For L of f comma p also we have to consider for epsilon value, and L of f comma p for multiplying both side with minus, you should get equation number 3. Actually we want to prove
U of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon.
So I have here u of f comma p and minus L of f comma p. So substituting of that condition, u of f comma p minus L of f comma p is always less than or equal to u of f value plus epsilon by 2 minus L of f comma p also less than or equal. So that's why I converted greater than become a less than. So less than or equal to minus L of f plus epsilon by 2. So this is less than or equal to u of f minus L of f. By grouping of arbitrary constants epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2. So less than or equal to u of f minus L of f is as it is. Epsilon plus epsilon is nothing but 2 epsilon by 2. So numerator to denominator to cancel. Finally, I will get it is less than or equal to u of f comma u of f minus L of f plus epsilon. But from equation number 1, we have the value u of f is equal to L of f. Why u of f is equal to L of f?
Because it is a Riemann integral.
Because it is a Riemann integral. So shall I substitute here u of f value or L of f value? So u of f place I want to substitute L of f. So L of f minus L of f plus epsilon. So positive term, negative term should be cancelled. Finally, I will get the arbitrary constant is less than epsilon. So this is less than epsilon. So first I want to get the simplified value u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value is less than epsilon. So this is our proof of necessary condition. So the given condition is f is integral. Then we prove that u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value should be less than epsilon. So only the consideration is u of f comma p less than or equal to u of f plus epsilon by 2. This is upper Riemann sum. This is Riemann integral. Adding of that Riemann integral for that is always greater than. So sometimes you should take only less than only. It will be not equal. Okay. Constants for it will be equal. So L of f comma p is greater than L of f minus epsilon by 2. Subtracting of these terms, if greater than become a less than, we should get our final. So that is proof of necessary condition. Any doubts, sir? Any doubts? Hello?
Sir.
Any doubts for necessary condition?
No, sir.
Now we have to prove sufficient condition. What is the given condition?
U of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon.
Then we
Then
prove
we have to do that f is integral on closed interval a comma b.
so that proof of sufficient condition. So I want to taking u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value is less than epsilon denoted with equation number 1. So given now we have to prove that f is a Riemann integral. So that is u of f value is equal to L of f value అనేది prove చేయాలి. So taking of u of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon, taking using of that condition. So u of f comma p minus L of f comma p value is less than epsilon is the given condition. So you should consider equation number 1. Now we prove that f is Riemann integral. Riemann integral for you have to prove u of f value is equal to L of f value. So consideration and proving of the given condition. So by the definition, I'm taking u of f. taking of u of f is upper Riemann sum. So what is the upper Riemann sum definition? Taking infimum of u of f comma p, and here p is a partition. So u of f is equal to infimum of u of f comma p, upper Riemann sum by the definition. U of f is equal to infimum of u of f comma p, where p is the partition. Now by the comparison, I want to take here u of f. By the definition of u of f, this is infimum of u of f comma p. So u of f comma p, and I want to take some of the epsilon value. So this is u of f comma p value. So by the definition, the upper Riemann sum and u of f comma p plus some of the epsilon value I want to take. So by the definition of that u of f comma p, so u of f and u of f comma p plus epsilon. So which is the greatest term here?
U of f.
Which is the greatest term?
U of f.
So upper Riemann sum is infimum of u of f comma p. 1 minute. So u of f is our upper Riemann integral. U of f is a upper Riemann sum. So that integration and Riemann sum by the comparison. So our u of f comma p and u of f. So this is only integration. This is our upper Riemann sum. Here existing the partial sum. So that's why it is less than or equal. So u of f is less than or equal to u of f comma p value is existing. So u of f is less than or equal to u of f comma p. So upper Riemann integral కన్నా upper Riemann sum అనేది greatest గా ఉంటుంది. So that is u of f is less than or equal to u of f comma p, because it is set of the upper bounds. So that set of upper bounds for we should taking of infimum. Same by the definition of lower Riemann integral, L of f is equal to supremum of L of f comma p. So then I want to take by the comparison, lower Riemann integral value is greater than or equal to L of f comma p. So this is my bounded condition. L of f comma p for L of f is a greatest term. This is Riemann integral, and this is only Riemann sum. That Riemann sum for this is lower bound, but Riemann sum for it is upper bound. So that's why it is greatest. So L of f comma p for u of f is less than. Upper bound is greatest, lower bound is least. Now multiply with minus L of f is less than or equal to minus L of f comma p. So this is equation number 1. Equation number 2. Are you getting what I'm doing here? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I am taking here upper Riemann integral definition. What is the definition? U of f equal to infimum of u of f comma p. P is the partition. So u of f is only integral value, but this is the upper bound. So that upper bound is always greater than of our integral. Integral for we should get some of the constant. ఆ కాన్స్టెంట్ కన్నా ఇక్కడ అప్పర్ బౌండ్స్ అనేవి ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతున్నాయి కాబట్టి అప్పర్ బౌండ్ ఈస్ గ్రేటెస్ట్. ఇక్కడ L of f is greater than L of f is the constant value, but L of f comma is the lower bound. constant for it is lower value, so that's why it is less than. So L of f అనేది greatest, ఇది ఒక కాన్స్టెంట్ వాల్యూ కానీ ఇది ఏమవుతుంది అప్పర్ బౌండ్, సో దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్. కానీ ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఇట్ ఈస్ లోయర్ వాల్యూ, ఇట్ ఈస్ కాన్స్టెంట్. సో లోయర్ అంటే కాన్స్టెంట్ ఫర్ ఆల్సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ద లీస్ట్ వాల్యూ. సో so L of f is greater than or equal to L of f comma p. So L of f comma p is the lower value for constant. So that's why L of f is greater than or equal to L of f comma p. So this is upper partition, this is also lower partition, but this partition our u of f value for their existing the upper bound value, so that's why it is greatest. U of f kanna u of f comma p అనేది greatest గా ఉంటుంది because it is upper bound values. Here L of f is sum of the Riemann integral, but is lower bound, lower values are existing. So by the multiplying of minus, when greater than become a less than or equal to, minus L of f is less than or equal to minus L of f comma p. So using of 1 and 2, so u of f minus L of f is less than or equal to, both containing less than or equal condition. So u of f comma p minus L of f comma p from 1 and 2 by condition of 1 and 2. So this is our u of f minus L of f is less than or equal to c. For given condition u of f comma p minus L of f comma p is always
less than epsilon.
so I'm substituting u of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon. So the value is less than epsilon. So L of f I want to take other side. L of f is less than or equal to u of f is less than or equal to L of f plus epsilon. But epsilon is an arbitrary constant. You should eliminate that value. So u of f is less than or equal to L of f. And before we have to prove one of the theorem, L of f is less than or equal to u of f. So here we have a is less than or equal to b, b is less than or equal to a. What you can say from here onwards to
A equal to B.
so ఇప్పుడు అలాగే వచ్చింది u of f less than or equal to L of f, and by the known theorem L of f is less than or equal to u of f. From here onwards what I want to write,
L of f equal to U of f.
so L of f and u of f both are equal means that is called
Riemann integral.
Riemann integral. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain anybody what is given condition?
U of f comma p minus L of f comma p less than epsilon.
Less than epsilon.
In the given condition. Now we can prove
U of f equal to L of f.
u of f equal to L of f. So that's for what we have to consider.
U of f equal to n sum of
Upper Riemann integral for definition. What is the definition?
U of f equal to sum of
infimum
U
of
of
U
f
of
comma P. P is part.
p is a partition.
Now the comparison u of f is a,
Less than or equal to
Then
U
are
of
equal
f.
to U of f comma p.
why it is less than or equal?
Upper integral.
Yes, here Riemann integral. Integral means but it is sum of the constant. But u of f comma p is always
Bounded.
bounded. So some bounded condition. So that's why it is greatest. Next, by the definition of L of f equal to supremum of L of f comma p. So L of f is greater than or equal to L of f comma p. What is why L of f is greatest?
Lower.
Constant.
ఇది కాన్స్టెంట్ అవుతుంది కానీ L of f comma p అనేది ఏమవుతుంది సార్?
Lower bound.
Lower.
లోయర్ రీమాన్ సమ్ అంటే ఇక్కడే లోయర్ ఉంది, దీంట్లో కూడా లోయర్ ఉన్నప్పటికీ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాన్స్టెంట్, బట్ హియర్ ద వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ లో వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్, దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ లెస్ దాన్ ఆర్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్. అంటే ఎల్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫ్ కామా పి కన్నా ఎల్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫ్ అనేది గ్రేటెస్ట్ గా ఉంటుంది. ఆఫ్టర్ సబ్స్ట్రాక్టింగ్ బికాస్ ఐ వాంట్ బోత్ లెస్ దాన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్, సో మల్టిప్లై విత్ మైనస్, యూ వాంట్ టు సింప్లిఫై. Here epsilon is arbitrary constant, you should eliminate. So this is my one of the essay question. Any doubts, sir?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Pakka this question, I think this year for essay question. Divya, P. Divya, roll number. So this is our one of the theorem. So
Sir.
next we have to go. Yes.
Sir, Divya roll number 107, sir.
What happened?
Divya roll number 107, sir.
107.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So first basic concept is completed. Next we have to go for properties of Riemann integral. I will that is on next on Monday. So properties of there 5 or 6 theorems are there. Next another theorem you should complete your fourth unit. So next class on Monday, same time.